Hello everyone, I am Sweetie from SV classes. Our today's grammar topic is the sentence, and in this video we are going to understand the parts of sentences. In a sentence we may have a subject, subject word, predicate, object and complement. So in this video we are going to understand what is the function of subject, subject word, predicate, object and complement in a sentence. Now, what is a sentence? A sentence is a combination of words that gives a complete meaning or thought. So, it is a group of words which gives a complete meaning, which begins with a capital letter and which is in a proper order. Sentence can be effectively broken down into two parts, the subject and predicate. So a sentence has two parts. One is the subject and predicate. Now let us understand it further with the example. You can see the picture over here. They played the drums. So what is a subject? A subject is a doer, the one who do the action. So you can see here that who is doing the action? The children are doing the action, and for the children we have used the pronoun they. So they is our subject, and the rest of the part is called predicate. So what is the predicate? The predicate is played the drums. So this is our predicate. Now what is the object? So object we can find in the predicate itself. So they played the drums. So on whom the children are doing the action? The children are doing the action on drum. So drum is our object. So in this way, we can find a subject and predicate, and it may be possible that a predicate may have object. Now let us further understand subject and predicate in detail. A subject is a noun or pronoun used in a sentence. It is an agent in the sentence which does some action in the sentence. So the first possibility of subject is that it may do any action in the sentence. Let us see with the example. She is laughing. So what is she doing? What action she is doing? She is laughing. So it is the action of laughing is being done by she. So she is the subject and she is doing the action. They are playing football. So what action is done by they? Playing football. So they are doing the action. They is the subject. Sonu works in a factory. Sonu works, again a action is done by Sonu, that he works in a factory. So Sonu is the subject. Now let us see with the next possibility. So this is our first possibility, that a subject does some action. Now let us see the second possibility. But in some sentence what happens? Subject may not necessarily perform some task. So this is our second possibility. So what can the subject do? The subject can also be defined as a noun or pronoun which is used in a sentence and about which something is being told. So actually the subject is not doing any action, but something is told about the subject. Now let us understand with the example. He is very happy. So here he is not doing any action, but it shows the state that how he is feeling. He is feeling happy. So subject can also, the second possibility is the subject is also used to show a state or something is being told about the subject. Next sentence. Dhruvil seems to be angry. So again, Dhruvil is not doing any action, but we are just trying to understand his state. So how he feels, he seems to be very angry. So here also the subject is not doing any action. She looks very beautiful. It tells about her beauty. So she is not doing any action, but she is the subject because we are talking about she. So this is our second possibility, that the subject may not do any action, but we are just talking about something about the subject. So here in this three sentence, he, Dhruvil and she is the subject. Now let us go with the next possibility. In some sentences, the subject may be gerund or infinitive. So in the first and second possibility, we have seen that subject was noun and pronoun. But sometimes the subject may be gerund and infinitive. Now gerund, it is made of verb. Infinitive, it is also made of verb. When we add ing to the verb, and when we use it in the place of subject, it becomes a noun. For example, read. Read is a verb. It is an action. But if we add ing and if we place it in the place of a subject, okay, as a doer, then it becomes a subject. So this is the third possibility, that a subject can be a gerund or infinitive. Infinitive also is being made when to is added to verb and it is placed in the position of the subject. Okay, so reading is a good habit. So we are talking about reading. So reading becomes our subject. To read is a good habit. Again, we are talking about to read. Okay, and it is an infinitive. So both this reading and to read is a subject. So this is our third possibility. Now let us see further. In some sentences, the subject may consist of several words. Now this we are going to talk. Until now we have talked and we have just seen the example where we have only one word as a subject. We had only one word as a subject. Now let us see with the possibility when there are more than one word. If there are several words, then what we have to see that but which is more important than the other word. So the word which is more important is called subject word. Okay, let us understand with the example. The old woman was crossing the road. So here the old woman is the subject because we are talking about the old woman. But in the subject, we can find the subject word because here you can see which is the main word. The is the article, so it cannot be the main word. Old is the adjective that is used for the noun woman. So what is our, who is doing the action? The woman is doing the action. So woman is the subject word. Similarly, in the second sentence, the tree by the brook was cut down. The tree by the brook is our subject. And by the brook shows the position of the tree, that where the tree was. Brook means the side of the river, okay, the river side. So there were trees on the river side and it was cut down. So the tree by the brook was cut down. So by the brook shows the position of the tree. So on whom the action is done? The action is done on the tree. So tree is our subject word. The predicate is, now until now we have talked about subject. Now let us talk with the second part, that is the predicate. The predicate is the part of a sentence that says something about the subject. Okay, the other words rather than the subject is called predicate. And a predicate must have one finite verb. It is compulsory to have a verb in a predicate. Now let us see the example. She looks very beautiful. Here we have already gone through this example. She is the subject and looks very beautiful is our predicate. He is writing a poem. He is the subject and is writing a poem is the predicate. The students are in the classroom. Are in the classroom is our predicate and our subject is the students. Now let us see the examples when there are different kinds of sentences. Suppose a sentence is imperative sentence. In imperative sentence, students, you know that the subject you is understood. Now this is the example of imperative sentence. Imperative sentence means a sentence which gives order, which gives any request. That is called a imperative sentence. For example, this is a advice. Respect your elders. It is an advice and it is an imperative sentence. So here you do not have the subject. The subject you is understood. So imperative sentence, we do not have the subject, but the subject is being understood. If we transform the imperative into assertive sentence, then it will be you should respect your parents. So you will become our subject and the rest is our predicate. Now let us see with the different other kinds of sentences. If it is an interrogative or exclamatory sentence, the word order is slightly changed and the subject is not placed first. Just like assertive sentence, the subject may be somewhere else. For example, this is an example of exclamatory sentence. What a stupid answer she gave. So if we transform this sentence into assertive, it will, she gave a stupid answer. So who is our doer? She. So she is the subject. So it may be possible that subject may be on any other place rather than in the beginning of the sentence. Now let us understand with few. You can see the picture over here. So what is the picture about? You can see a girl who is hiding behind the curtain. So if I want to make a question, it may be, who is hiding behind the curtain? Who is hiding behind the curtain? It is an interrogative sentence. So in interrogative sentence, you can just see who is hiding. If I give the answer, the girl is hiding behind the curtain. So who is used for the girl? So this is used for the subject and that's why who becomes our subject. So if you want to just bifurcate, who is the subject, is hiding behind the curtain is our predicate. Let us see one more example. Let us see another example. Now here you can see a boy is doing some work on the board. So if you want to make an exclamatory sentence, it can be, what an intelligent boy he is. So I want to say he is a very intelligent boy. So who is our doer? He is the doer. So he is at the end of the sentence, but it is a subject. I am just trying to make you understand that the subject can be at the end of the sentence or at any other place in a sentence. So here, what is our subject? He is the subject, and what an intelligent boy is our predicate. Next topic is object. So object, we can found in a predicate. What is an object? A object is a noun or a pronoun in a sentence which is acted upon. Further, we can divide object into two parts, direct object and indirect object. In the very first example, we have seen that drum was our object. The children played on drum. So drum was the object. What is a direct object? The words that directly receive the action of the verb in a sentence are called the direct object, which directly receive. You can see the example. The children played drum. So drum received the direct action. That's why it is called direct object. And it is very easy to find out when we put a question. Now let us try to understand with an example. Four people are pushing the car, our subject, and four people, what they are doing? Pushing the car. So the direct action is done on the car. So four people, the action is pushing and the car is our direct object. Now see the next example. She ate a hot dog. She is the subject, ate is the verb, and the action is done on a hot dog. So the hot dog, you can see it is a direct object. Indirect object. Words that do not receive the action directly are called the indirect object. And by putting the question whom to the verb, we can find out the indirect object. For example, I gave English lesson. To whom I gave? Them. Okay, so put when I question whom to the verb, whom I gave the English lesson? Them. So them is our indirect object. Now let us try to understand it with the examples. The first sentence is the principal gave Ria a prize. The principal is the subject, gave is the action word, that is the verb, and Ria is indirect. So here you can find the indirect object when you question whom. WHOM, when you question whom, and when you question what to the verb, you can find the direct object. So the principal gave, what he gave? A prize. Also a prize is the direct object, and whom he gave? Ria. So Ria is the indirect object. The teacher teaches. Whom the teacher teaches? The class. So the class is the indirect object. She showed what? A dress. So dress is the direct object, and Vidhi, to whom she showed? Vidhi. So Vidhi is the indirect object. Sachin won what? The first prize. So the first prize is our direct object. The police found what? Guilty. Whom? Him. So him is our indirect object. The woman asked. What she asked? For help. So what for help is our direct object. We called. What? We call the madam. So madam is the direct, and whom we call the madam? Her. So her is our indirect object. Disrespectful words filled him with shame. So disrespectful words is our subject. Filled is the action word, which is the verb. And to whom? So him. So him is the indirect object, and with shame is the direct object. Now, until now we had understood what is a subject, what is a predicate, and what is a object. Now let us see, sometime it happens that we may have a complement in a sentence. So what is a complement? A complement means words that complete the meaning of an incomplete verb. They are called the complement. A complement may be a noun, pronoun, an adjective, or an adverb. For example, Ravi is very careless. So here we can see that it completes the what it completes? It completes the meaning. So what Ravi is? Ravi is very careless. So here we are talking about Ravi, and Ravi is a subject, and that's why it is a complement. The meaning of complement is it means we are just talking about something. No action is done, nothing. So it is called a complement. And we are talking about the subject Ravi. That's why it is called subject complement. Now let us see the next example. The girl left the door open. The girl is the subject. Left the door open. It is the predicate. And here you can see the girl left the door. Door is the object, and open is used as a complement of door. So that's why it is an object complement. Let us see one more example. He is a good singer. So good singer is used for he, and that's why a good singer is a subject complement. Let's see one more example. The girl left the door open. So the door is our direct object, and open is the object complement. So until now we have studied what is a subject, what is a predicate, what is a object. Now a sentence can be divided into subject, verb, and object or complement. So what will come under a subject? The subject may be either noun, pronoun, gerund or infinitive. And in the place of verb, we may have either main verb, helping verb, modal helping verb, transitive verb or intransitive verb. And in the place of object, we may have direct object, indirect object or prepositional object. And complement can be bifurcated into two parts, subjective complement and objective complement. Now let us further understand this more with the example. The first example is she threw the ball. She threw the ball. She is the subject. Threw is, you can see here she is the subject and it is a pronoun. Threw is the main verb and the ball is the direct object. It is the direct object. I will just write DO. So it is the direct object. The next sentence, she threw the ball on me. She is the subject. Threw is the verb and the ball is the direct object because we asked the question what? What she threw? So the ball. And on me. So me is our indirect object. She threw the ball hard on me. She is the subject. Threw is the verb. The ball is the direct object. And hard is a complement of the object ball and that's why it is a object complement and me is our indirect object. Aryan is a good boy. Aryan is the subject. Is the verb, it is the main verb and a good boy is a complement of Aryan which is subject. So it is a subject complement. Ahmedabad is a big city. Ahmedabad is a subject. Is the verb and again a big city is a complement of Ahmedabad which is subject. So this is a subject complement. Next, honesty is the best policy. Honesty, we are talking about honesty. So honesty is in the place of a subject. Is our verb. And the best policy is the complement of honesty. So it is a subject complement. You are playing chess. You is the subject and it is a pronoun. You are playing, it is the helping verb. And chess, what are you playing? So chess. So chess is the direct object. Could you bring the bouquet of flowers, please? Now this is an interrogative sentence. If we transform this sentence into assertive, it would be, you are requested to bring the bouquet of flowers. So you is the subject. This is our subject. Bring is the verb and what you are requested to bring? The bouquet of flowers. So this is the direct object. Socrates was a Greek philosopher. Socrates is the subject, was is the verb and it tells about Socrates. So it is a subject complement. A woman of great beauty is sitting by the fire. A woman of great beauty is the subject. Now here you can find out the subject word. What is the subject word? Woman. Because we are talking about woman and is sitting is the verb and this is a complement. Now let us see some more example. He has a car. Now he is the subject and he is a pronoun. He has. Has is a verb and what he has a car. But car is not doing any action. It is just shows the possession of he and that's why it is a complement. and it is a complement of the subject. So this is a subject complement because no action is done on the car. If any action is done, then we can say it is a direct object. But this is just the possession, and that's why it is the subject complement. Next example, swimming is a good exercise. Swimming, it is a gerund and it is subject. Is the verb, and a good exercise is told for swimming. So again it is just a subject complement. People who are kind-hearted are loved by all. People who are kind-hearted. This is our subject. We are talking about people. So people is our subject word. Are loved is the verb. By all is the complement for the subject. So this is our subject complement. I have a chain of gold. This is just like the similar like example 1. I have a chain of gold. So I is the subject, have is the verb, and it shows the possession. So again this is a subject complement. A useless carpet with many holes is lying in the cupboard. A useless carpet with many holes is our subject. Here what is our main word? Carpet. So carpet is the subject word, is lying is the verb, and this is again a complement, subject complement. So in this video we have learned about what is a subject, what is a subject word, what is a predicate, what is direct object, indirect object, subject complement and object complement. Thank you, and if you like my video, please like, share and subscribe.